Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM. We welcome you all back to our program, as well as tuning in to our online affiliates around the world, including our iHeartRadio family. We're glad to have all of you with us as well. I actually found out about our next guest thanks to a post on Facebook. I heard about her new single, Honey. I then went to Amazon.com, got it for myself, liked the song, and then reached out to her camp about doing a conversation with her, and now we have her here with us today. Jenna Lotti is making her first appearance on our program to talk to us not only about her musical journey, but also what it's been like for her to do what she loves when it comes to music, and then to be able to share that with all of you. Now, just on hearing about Jenna and her new single, Honey, we'll let you guys hear the single a little bit later and how to stay connected with her. But Jenna, hello to you and welcome to the program.
Hi, Cyrus. Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, I'm glad to do it. You know, it's so funny how social media works for good, right? I mean, like I said, I was on Facebook. I saw a post, about your single. Then, of course, like I said, I just listened to a bit of it, then went over, got it for myself. Like, you know what? I think I'd like to talk with her. And now here we are. I mean, what has it been like for you, Jenna, to not only to be able to create this music and then to be able to share it with people around the world?
It's been very exciting so far. It's been quite a long journey for me, but I'm very blessed to be able to create music and put it out into the world for other people, to hopefully inspire other people who are listening. So.
Well, I think you definitely are achieving that, and I think we can see it from your growing base online and even those who've gotten to know you offline, Jenna. So take us back a little bit.
You.
I mean, when did you first realize that music was one of those things that you wanted to do with your life?
I always was drawn to music, even as a young kid, but I actually didn't start pursuing my dreams until after I graduated from college. So I was 21 or 22. So I sort of got like a later start, but I started writing poetry when I was young, probably in middle school and high school, because I suffer from depression and anxiety. And so that's kind of how I coped with my mental illness, and later on in life kind of turned those poems into songs. So that's kind of how I started writing music. And as far as playing music, I started doing open mics around Boston, where I'm from, right after college. And that kind of grew into doing smaller shows, opening up for local bands, forming a band of my own. And, yeah, I just kind of pressed on the gas pedal as soon as I did that first open mic.
And the rest, as they say, is definitely history. I mentioned to you before we went on here, Jenna, that I had, when I was prepping for your segment, I mean, one of the things that I normally do, or I'll listen to past conversations because I don't like to ask the same questions everyone else asks, but I also like to find out more information from the actual guests themselves in their own words, about themselves and their journey. And one thing I heard you say is that one of the transitions you've made, and it's something I've heard authors who I talk to a lot, Jenna, say, and that is, of course, we initially write what we know, right? I mean, you know yourself better. So, of course, you're going to write about yourself. But you then started to expand and listening to other people, and then to be able to kind of, be able to hear what other people are going through. I mean, what has that been like for you to kind of take these emotions that are so common to so many of us, and then to be able to put that in your music?
That's a great question. Yes, like you said, released my first album in 2014. I wrote every song on that album, and just really from the heart. I didn't really know any rules about writing songs or anything like that at that time. I just knew from listening to all my favorite other artists. That's kind of how I learned how to write, was listening to like John Mayer's songwriting and Sarah Bareilles, who are two huge influences of mine. So my first record was sort of like singer-songwriter, a little bit of pop, a little bit of like folk, or sort of, I guess. And then as I grew as an artist and as a songwriter, and a performer, my music kind of shifted in my second EP, and it became more like soulful and bluesy. And after that, I kind of recently have transitioned into creating more pop music, which I've always wanted to do, and it's just a really exciting time for me right now. I've never been this excited about releasing music before, but I also am still learning at the same time, and it's just been a really exciting time for me right now.
Right, for sure. And I think,
I don't know if that answered your question or not.
No, it did. It did answer it. And I think the other thing that's exciting, Jenna, is that you're finding that people are able to see themselves in your music. And I think that's part of the connection. I mean, I have come to call them a tribe when people kind of come to you, they rally around you, either online or offline, and kind of connect with you. Mm-hmm. What has it been like for you to see that tribe grow from that first project and to see how people are making that connection with your music?
It's been amazing. I mean, I started out in Boston, where I'm from, and the music scene in Boston is very close-knit, and they've been super supportive of me since the beginning, which has been amazing. And yeah, it's pretty crazy to, put out music and have people show up to your shows or just support you online and root for you. It just gives you that sense of like, okay, maybe I'm doing something right. Recently I just moved to Los Angeles, and so I feel like I'm kind of starting over here a little bit. It's been pretty hard, but you got to take risks, high risk, high reward, so
right.
We'll see.
Exactly. For sure. And I know that your audience is definitely excited about where this road's going to take you, Jenna. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome recording artist Jenna Lotti to our program today. Jenna's celebrating her new single called Honey. You guys are going to be hearing it here in just a bit, but also her journey in life as well. There are a couple of things that I mentioned social media earlier, Jenna, and it's one of the ways I think all of us kind of stay connected. And again, that's how I discovered you initially, but you really communicate some great messages, especially through your Facebook fan page. I mean, one of the things that you wrote about last year after I think there were some events that had happened in life about you made a post about there's so much sadness, the importance of loving hard. And then, of course, about looking forward. I think those are themes you kind of have been able to tie into. How has it helped you in life to realize that every day is a brand new opportunity?
Well, it's definitely a struggle for me. Every day I have to work on being positive and work towards not caring about what other people are doing. And, it's easy to get caught up in the social media stuff where, you're just kind of comparing yourself and where you want to be. And I definitely struggle with that. I go to therapy. I try to work on myself as much as possible to keep moving forward and staying positive. That's something that I kind of need help with. So I try to portray that message as much as I can through social media, and try to stay kind of like real through social media. It's something that I should probably do more of, but social media is just like a tricky thing. I mean, it's not really real. And I think a lot of people get caught up in that, and it just makes me kind of sad. And, you're only seeing the highlight reel of what people post. And so that's kind of something that bothers me about social media, but at the same time, it's such a good way to connect with people at the same time. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, I guess.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Well, I will say this, though. I mean, and it's one thing that I have tried very hard to do, Jenna, and I think our audience, I really pushed them to do, is to allow it to be a platform to be able to share the light. Because as you kind of allude to in some of your posts, there's so much darkness in the world, there's so much darkness that people are dealing with. You, though, have been an example for people, and quite frankly, the reason I know that is because it's very obvious, even from the time I reached out to you, I've noticed, your your online presence growing. I mean, what is it like for you to kind of be one of those lights that people are drawn to, that kind of allows them to see what is possible?
I don't know. I guess I don't really think of myself as that, but I mean, if someone was to look at me that way, then that's amazing. That's kind of why I started this journey of writing music, because I wanted to help people or inspire people or make them dance or whatever it may be. So I just think that's like the ultimate dream or goal for me is that. But I certainly don't think of myself as being like someone that is a light for, I don't know, it's just a weird thing, I guess. I just work really hard, and I like to write songs, and I just put them out, and that's kind of just what I do.
Right. Well, I will then let them say it for us. Then, when you posted about Honey, let's go from. I've been talking about Facebook. Let's just go to Instagram. And when you posted about the new single being out, just some of the comments, and I'll just share 3 of them that I made a note of. Sounds great. Lately was what Lindsey Bergen said. Another comment that came in from Molly May was, "I've literally had this on repeat all day." And then you had someone else who said, "Absolutely love it, Jenna. Awesome job." When you read comments like that from people who are experiencing your music for the first time, and again, this is when it was first released, do you feel as though you've done, Jenna, exactly what you wanted to do in music?
Yes. Yes and no. Those comments literally make my day or week or whatever. Like, I love when people write those type of things. I mean, that just gets you so excited. It's like, oh my God, yes, like I'm not the only one who believes in this song now. It's like other people are listening, and they actually go out of their way to look up the song and listen to it. When Molly says she's playing it on repeat all day, like that just makes my whole day. The other part of that is, I don't want to rely on comments for my own satisfaction as an artist. When I put out a song, it's safe to say that I'm proud of the song. I don't like to put out work that I'm not proud of or don't believe in. And that's something that I had to learn over the years of doing this. But so I mean, first and foremost, I like to be like just proud of the song and before I put it out. And if I believe in it, then I know that, I'm kind of like in the right headspace. But the people commenting online definitely helps. It's just like I don't like to base my whole happiness on that, I guess.
Yeah. That's sense? A really good point. No, it makes perfect sense. And I want to actually expand on that for a moment with our audience, because I think, so many times we do things for the acceptance of others. So I think it's great that you can say you appreciate that, but it's not the reason why you do it. It's kind of like what I say about what I do is that I just happen to love what I do. I'm glad that other people enjoy it too, but I do it because this is what I love to do. And so it's great to be able to have that, that self-gratification. So I want to turn that around, though, for a moment, because like for me, I mean, up until, a couple weeks ago, I didn't know who Jenna Lotti was. But now, I have found your music and love your music. And so now I've gone from listening to Honey to then going, okay, well, let me try something else. And there's warning signs out there.
Cool.
And, I mean, what has that experience been like for you to have people who don't know you, Jenna, who have no invested interest at all in making you feel good? What is it like for people like me when we find your music and reach out and say, hey, I really like this?
That's really cool. I mean, that's like so special, and it means so much to me. Especially because you didn't know. It's just so strange that you found the song through Facebook, and then you reach out to me. It's like so cool. That really, like, people I don't know or have never heard of me reach out, and they're like, wow, I really like your music, and this is so cool that I get to come on your show and talk to you about it. Like, that's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of the great sides of social media. We'll say, to be able to make a connection like this possible, which leads us then to Honey. So talk to us about this song, because I have to say, when I first found out about it, again going back to Facebook, there's that great video that you have, and you do quite a few videos, Jenna. But there's this great video of you in the car, and you're listening to the song, and there's a guy there. He's listening to the song and getting into it. How did the song come about?
So I wrote Honey with my husband when we were living back in Boston. We actually wrote it, I think, about a year ago, which is kind of crazy to me. It seems like so long ago. But and we had been playing the song on tour for like a long time, and it was super bluesy and very slow and different originally. And then I went into the studio to record it with my producer, Josh Friedman, also known as That One-Eyed Kid. And we started to track the song as the way we wrote it. So my husband plays the guitar and I sing, and we wrote it that way. And it just wasn't sounding cohesive with the rest of the music that we had been creating for this upcoming EP. And it wasn't really like making me excited to listen to it. And that's one of the things I learned in the past is like, just because you record something doesn't mean you need to release it. And so I went back into the studio like a month or a couple of weeks later, and I was like, okay, I just want to start from scratch, like redo this whole entire song. I want to make it fast. I want to make it more pop. So we started with the drum beat and kind of built the song up from there in the studio. And it's difficult to record a song in a totally different way when you've been singing it for so long in a different way. So right. I played it for my parents and like all my friends who had heard it live, and they're like, "Oh, I like the original better," just because they had heard that version first, which is kind of like a tough thing to get over. But this song is like, I'm just so excited about it. A lot of my songs tend to be kind of like more sad and somber, like my last single, Warning Signs. And I just really wanted like a fun song that you could dance to. And that's kind of what we hopefully captured in this one. And that video that I put up like on my Instagram with me and my husband in the car was the day we got back the mix from our mixing engineer, Adam Korbsmeyer. And so we were listening to it in the car in Malibu, and we were just getting so excited, and I just took that video. So,
wow. Well, it's a great video. It's a great song, Jenna, and I'm glad that we can share it now with our audience. Here is Honey by Jenna Lotti. We'll be back with our final moments with Jenna right after this, so stay with us.
Got me hanging by a string. Know what's a girl to think about the situation. Words they fly around and sting. It's never good timing when you come around. You're eating me alive. I'm eating up your lies. I'm just so sick and tired. I'm gonna have to put this bluntly. I don't want your honey. You lead me to believe your heart is on your sleeve. I'm giving it. Maybe just for one more night we could hold each other tight. I'll let you back in. Heart's telling me to try. It's just feeding me lies. Should know by the fifth time. I'm gonna have to put this bluntly. I don't want your honey.
That again was Honey by recording artist Jenna Lotti. It's available now through our friends at Amazon.com or through your favorite online retailer, wherever that might be. We're going to tell you guys here in just a bit how you can stay connected with Jenna. Jenna, and I think that's the great thing again about music. Music has a way of speaking, I think, to people. I say this a lot on this program because I think music has a way of touching people in such a universal way, and I think that's one of the great things. I mean, it kind of reaches you where you are in your life, and I think that's the beautiful thing about it. When someone listens to a single by Jenna Lotti, what do you want them to be able to feel?
It depends on what song it is, I guess. But for Honey, I want them to feel happy, excited. I want them to feel like they can jam out in the car and dance to the song.
Okay. Very good. Well, I don't think you'll have a problem with that. I think that's definitely going to happen for sure. Again, everyone, recording artist Jenna Lotti has been our guest. Great conversation with you, Jenna. We've been talking with her not only about her amazing musical journey, but also what it's been like for her to share that with all of you. So, Jenna, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you?
They can find me on Instagram, Jenna Lotti, JennaLotti, Facebook, Jenna Lotti Music, YouTube, Jenna Lotti Music, and for upcoming tour dates and stuff like that, you can go to jennalotti.com.
All right. So make sure you're definitely staying connected with Jenna, and I definitely know that they respond back because that's how we did this conversation today. It was booked within 48 hours of me reaching out initially, so I definitely know that they definitely stay connected. Jenna, congratulations to you again. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much, Cyrus.
Oh, you're more than welcome, and looking forward to speak with you again.
Yeah, same to you. Thank you.
All right. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late and missed part of the conversation with Jenna, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media sites. So head over to Facebook.com/Cyrus Webb or go to Twitter.com/Cyrus Webb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. You all make it a great one.